Hello everyone, I'm Vincent White. I'm an employment attorney, and today we're doing the Corona video, the COVID-19 video part 3. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission released some guidance recently about what employers can and cannot do. And they make a lot of really good points in terms of what employers can and cannot do when a pandemic could be building, could be imminent, and what employers can and cannot do if something does actually or has already risen to the level of a pandemic. So they actually provided a really good comparison. H1N1 was not a pandemic. I think that was in 2009. That did not rise to the level of pandemic. Currently, Corona does not rise to the level of pandemic, but it could, and so they're trying to differentiate those two circumstances. So, right off the bat, we're all very private about our medical information, right? But there is going to be certain levels of screening that an employer can do. They can give you questionnaires and ask certain questions, even when a pandemic is imminent. Not here yet, but imminent. The next guidance, and this was, I thought, was really key. There are situations in which your employer can require you to have your temperature taken. This arises to the level of a medical examination, though, so it can only take place if things reach a pandemic level. That is going to be a hard distinction to make when things have reached a pandemic level, because as I understand it, as stated by the CDC, they don't use the pandemic rating anymore. So the guidance is somewhat more complex than it needs to be on that front, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll litigate it down into the earth if we need to, and get a final ruling on what is and is not going to be pandemic level. But if things do rise to the level of pandemic, then it is conceivable that an employer could take your temperature at the workplace. Can your employer require you to work from home? Yeah, of course. Can your employer require you to wear safety gear? Anti-infection, protective, gloves, maybe a mask, who knows? Yes, they can. And this one was interesting. After a pandemic, when things are starting to clear up, everybody's starting to go back to work, can your employer require a return to work letter from your doctor? Yes. The EEOC was very clear on this. Yes, they can. There may be local laws that conflict with this in various areas, but on the federal level, and all of these criteria are purely on the federal level, as tied to the Americans with Disabilities Act and as under the purview of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. I hope this information was helpful in some way. I hope you're all staying safe out there. And remember, if you have some kind of immune compromised disability, get your reasonable accommodations. Don't expose yourself just for the paycheck. There's things you can do. There's ways you can be protected. There's ways you can keep working. Call an employment attorney and stay healthy. Okay?